What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comin in Clutch. My name is Cody Lewis, aka the LA Car Spotter.
My name is Lorenzo Giacomini, aka the Speedy Guidi. Guys, we got a good one for you today. It's going to be a great one. Roll the tape. All right, guys, we're about to bring out our first guest. He shoots fine cars. He shoots fine women. He's one of our good buddies, Will Collete. Yay! Welcome to the show.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
What's up, Willie?
How are you?
Doing well, man.
Hey,
Well, looks like we're missing something.
Yes. Thank you, sir. All right.
Why don't you scoot on up?
So,
Welcome to the big dogs.
dude, it's fun to be a guest on a show. You guys got something really cool here, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Love talking about cars. We do this on Saturdays anyway, right?
We do.
You know?
We talk a little bit too much at these car shows. We were talking about earlier how time just flies.
Yeah.
We're going to eat up a lot of time.
All right.
It's going to be great. We're going to talk about a lot of cars. We want to get to know you a little bit better because our viewers may not know you. So
No.
tell us like a quick little blurb about yourself. Like, where are you from?
First,
What's the deal?
hang
Like-
on. First, I gotta get. I gotta have my laptop like you guys.
Oh, the man comes
Gotta
prepared.
get super official here. There we go. Perfect.
Oh.
Okay.
What is that?
What does it say?
Oh, man. I knew it.
I just want to make sure if people want to know
No
what my brand
surprise.
is.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
Explain that real quick.
Okay, so a couple months ago, I shouted out a P1 on my Instagram story, and I was like, this car is trash. I can't handle how many people want this car. Everybody obsesses over it. You go to people's stories, it's
I find that
always like,
offensive because I love that car.
I am sincerely offended right now.
Well, like, everybody loves it, right? And, like, every
Yes.
time someone's like, what's your dream car? Everybody's like, oh, my God, the P1.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, is there anything, do they make other cars out there? Like, what's the deal with this P1? So I just started to say that they suck. And then everybody freaks out when a Senna comes in. I'm like, that car sucks.
I
Like,
agree with that.
and people can't handle it. They
No.
can't handle it. They're like, wait, what?
But
So,
go
yeah.
on.
Well, so I just decided to stand out and be the guy that hates McLarens.
But
And-
that's very surface level. That seems like very kind of like a fake hate for McLaren. But I know deep inside you really hate McLaren. Like I know you've worked with cars, and I know that you've had so many issues with McLarens, like getting them started, getting them going. So like you have real problems with McLaren. Don't pretend.
this
like
is
it's
true.
fake.
I tell you, so
They do. In your defense, they are quirky as hell.
Tell us
They
one of like the most annoying problems you've had with the McLaren.
okay, so one time I tried to race an ambulance at a red light, and I was
Okay, wait.
This is true. This is
All right.
true. Okay? So I'm in a 720S, and a ambulance pulls up right next to us. I had a
Yeah, us who was in the passenger seat.
potential client to sign on to the program I was a part of,
Okay.
and I was trying to like show off the car, right? So I'm looking over the ambulance, I'm revving the turbos, and I'm like, dude, on the green, and they literally were like, can we use the siren? And I was like, absolutely.
What is
And
going
then,
on?
and then, like, as soon as it hits green, I slam on the gas, and the car flies up to like 20 miles an hour and stops. And I was like, what? I had activated some kind of valet mode on the car, and it would not go past 20. And the ambulance comes past me going really slow on their intercom. They go, "Psh, are you about to get beat by an ambulance?" And I was like,
No.
what in the world? It was so embarrassing. And I had to call, like, the owner. I was like, why is this car only going 20 miles an hour? I looked like I had no idea what was going on. The client did not sign. The client did not sign. It was humiliating. So,
Wow.
Needless
McLaren.
to say, I did not make that sale.
That's actually hilarious.
yeah. So
That's absurd.
thank you, McLaren, for totally ruining that experience.
Oh my gosh.
So he has a legitimate reason to hate McLarens, which is fine. That's fine. Okay. So you're not originally from LA.
Mhm.
You're a transplant, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And so where the heck are you from?
Chapel Hill, North Carolina, land of basketball and Michael Jordan.
Basketball
Wow.
and Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can
Nice.
see the N in the C.
Yeah, UNC here. Yeah, I'm class
Oh,
of
that's
15.
clever.
There you
Class
go.
15, yeah.
There
If
you
you
go.
guys don't see, he's got the U, the N, and the C replaced with Tar Heels colors. Great job, but what brings you out to LA?
The Air Force actually did. So back up to when I was 13, always wanted to be in LA, always wanted to drive cars, and the Air Force had me up for assignment right after school to commission.
Cars, right? I think immediately Air Force.
Yeah, well,
I think Navy.
Well, see,
What?
so they were like, all right, you can go to Italy, Hawaii, Florida, or California. And I picked California, the Central Coast, in a bummy town called Lompoc because it was the closest to Los Angeles. And I drove down here as an 8-hour round trip every single weekend for 2 years to just shoot cars and be in the community. Yeah, so once they were done with me, I moved straight to Hollywood, and here I am.
Dude, good for you. That's some damn dedication. I would not do that.
Yeah.
Made it to Hollywood.
Yeah.
So the Air Force. Tell us a little bit more about that, because I think I made the mistake earlier of calling you a pilot, which is really freaking cool. But you're not a pilot. But you're equally as cool because you are
Space.
you're space.
Space Command.
So much freaking cooler than a pilot, and you're not just any
Space Command, like Buzz
space
Lightyear.
guy.
I'm a space captain.
You're a captain.
Yeah, captain.
Damn,
You're
that's
a freaking
freaking awesome.
space captain.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So how many times have you been to the moon?
only 420 times, I think we made it.
Peculiar number there.
Yeah. No, so we actually don't really send people up into space anymore. It's mostly rockets with satellite payloads. So I used to work in the 30th Space Wing.
And monkeys.
Monkeys.
Are
Yeah, monkeys. We still do
selling
those. Yeah.
monkeys? Sending monkeys.
It's just, dude, it's high risk, man. Like, it's funny because, like, we did 30 launches in a row successfully. And I remember talking to the wing commander. I'm like, dude, we're overdue for
A monkey.
Yeah, for a monkey. No.
Shoot it up there, bro.
Yeah.
We're overdue to like stick somebody on this thing and fucking send them up.
I mean, well,
Let's just send it.
Elon's trying to do it, and it's funny because they're eventually going to. Because I remember when we were touring with SpaceX when I first got to the base, and they're like, we want to bring boosters back and land them right here in California and reuse them. And I literally laughed out loud. I was like, you want to land a booster? Like, and they're like, yeah, there's the spot we're going to do it. I'm like, okay.
What's a booster?
Yeah, this is gibberish to me.
Literally the part that brings the rocket into space. It's the part that falls off back to the Earth. They
So
literally
like SpaceX was doing this thing where they can land their rocket back and like
reuse it
versus like the shuttle, which is the thing that sits on top of a giant engine and then lets go of that giant fuel thing and then it lands like an airplane, right?
Yeah, well, that thing that comes off the shuttle is its booster.
Is that the booster?
That's basically the same concept. They just like to reuse them. And SpaceX is going to send people to space, without a doubt. They're like the Apple of the space world, whereas you have these guys called ULA, United Launch Alliance. They're kind of like the Windows.
Is this
a little more by the book, a little slower.
Gotcha.
Is this because
SpaceX.
like what's the deal with NASA?
NASA doesn't really launch anymore. They did, I think, twice while I was in, but SpaceX is the player now. They're in the spot.
Yeah, because I remember NASA, not like a decade ago, didn't have any more government sponsorship, or they like removed the government funding from the NASA program. Okay,
We're getting off the rails. We're talking about space. This is an automotive freaking podcast. Gosh darn it!
Well, here, I got a great way to tie it together. You ready for this?
Yes.
So I got a phone call one time when I was working there from some guys who wanted to take 12 or 13 supercars and race them down that runway that the shuttle lands on.
Who would ever want to do that?
It was Motor Trend.
Who would do such a thing?
The world's greatest drag race, and that is where I drove my first supercar. It was a 911 Turbo S going 170 miles an hour down a closed space runway.
And it did it easily. Huh?
Easily.
It felt like it was going like 80,
like
right? Just like me, and just
Butter.
did it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That thing is.
Did you meet all the journalists?
I did. I met the host of the show and got to coordinate the whole thing. And they let me rip the 488 and a 570 and the 911 Turbo S. We drove them around the base and we drove them down the runway. It was awesome.
Like, hey, this guy flies rockets. He can fly cars.
Yeah, get in this car. This is worth like a quarter price.
That's sick. I mean, that's like what a way to get into cars.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Not everybody has the opportunity to
amazing.
Come in, fly rockets. Well, not fly rockets, but like do rocket stuff and then be on the tarmac with
Motor Trend.
I think a lot of people, even if you're not into cars, you know what that world's greatest drag race is because it has millions and millions of views and it's insane. So, but I kind of want to segue into like what you do here in LA. Like I want to let the people know like what you do with your spare time.
Right.
Do we even have enough time because you do so much?
Yeah, there's a shoot right after
you
this.
sleep? You're a vampire, right?
I don't. I really don't. Like, that is where everybody, you have to sacrifice somewhere, like mine is all sleep, which is why we were talking about Bang Energy earlier. I'm running on Red Bull and Bang Energy. And in fact, the next video that I'm shooting in an hour is a Bang Energy video for a model, which is 50% of what I do. I'm either shooting cars or I'm shooting models.
What do you prefer?
Nice.
Yeah, and you mix them both too.
Mix
correct?
them sometimes, yeah.
So what would you rather shoot?
See, I get that question a lot. What's more fun to shoot, models or cars? And the answer is it depends.
Models.
Because there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to both, right? So a car usually is at the shoot on time and doesn't have a friend's birthday it forgot about. It doesn't have hair and makeup to worry about. You don't have to pose it. It doesn't have to be in a good mood.
True.
Models are more dynamic. You can be more creative. You can style them. You have outfits. You have themes and concepts.
I never really thought about that. That's
there's pros and cons to both. And you can actually...
You can't scratch up a model, though.
Well, you also can't hang
Or blow a tire.
You can't hang out with a McLaren. So
I could.
some of these models are my friends too. So.
I could definitely make a McLaren my friend.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of cars.
You gotta take the Instagram
McLaren,
photo of you looking into the abyss with your hand on the butt of a McLaren.
Yeah.
That's Cody.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. How did that turn about? Because I've discussed with you a number of times because I mean for all the work that you've done, I look up to you as a photographer because everywhere I look and every time I think of hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could do a shoot like this? Or wouldn't it be cool if I could do a shoot with this person? You're doing that stuff. You shoot with Stradman, you're shooting incredible looking models. That's sick.
Yeah, I kind of want to delve into Stradman because he's the biggest YouTuber right now, in my opinion. And you were just with them this weekend. 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about that shoot?
Definitely, yeah. First of all, I appreciate the photography thing. He's actually the guy that I came to for advice when I upgraded my whole loadout on what camera stuff to get, what to shoot with, what lenses. Because when I think car photography, I definitely think of you. So
Cody,
he was the full frame master I had to go to. I was like, dude, I don't know what to get. You need to help me out. So... Yeah,
he's very modest.
While this guy was in North Korea or South Korea, and he was running around trying to get deals on cameras, hitting me up yo, this guy's trying to give me this crazy deal on the South Korean lens. Man, that was nuts. That was when I sent you on that wild goose chase to go find the Valhalla, the first Valhalla in the world, and they're it's at this random mall in South Korea, and because of him being on site, and he's I'm you're in South Korea. You're the only person I would ever know that's in South Korea.
Go find it.
Go find this.
He
fucking went on a wild
I was already at the mall. I didn't even know. I was dude, there's 900 malls in Korea. I'm never going to find it. And then I found out it was at CoEx Mall, and I was already in CoEx Mall. I was oh my God.
It's a sign.
Of all of South Korea. Yeah. So before we get into the Korea stuff, tell us more about the Stradman.
Okay, yeah, Stradman. So I was stationed out in Utah for 1 year. I was doing music videos for DJs like Chainsmokers and EDC and stuff. The Air Force saw them, reassigned me to Utah, and said, you're in charge of all of our media, and gave me 50 guys in a squadron and an $8 million camera budget and said, make content. So I was out there. I was having lots of Mustang problems. So I was bringing my car to the
no
same...
surprise there.
Right?
We'll get into those cars.
We'll
get into that later.
Brought it to the same shop literally weekly, dude. I replaced 5 transmissions while I was in Utah.
5.
And Makes and Models was where I was taking it. And I was there so often. They were you should meet one of our other clients, this guy named James Stradman. Never heard of him. And
was he anybody?
He was. Oh, he was very established. This was...
His last name is Stradman?
Yeah.
No, James... I know this. Condon, I think is how you say it.
I totally just pretended I knew what his last name was, and I said.
I just assumed Stradman was
It's like a stage name.
Yeah, but because Strada is a term.
That's where it comes from. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it comes from a car. There was a car that he liked that had Strad or something.
The Stratos?
Maybe I forgot the background.
I don't know. I legit thought his last name was either Strad or Stradman, which good to know.
Yeah,
not everyone's last name is Car Spotter, bro.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
Cody Car Spotter.
I didn't know his name was Cody for a while.
It's a gift.
No one knows who fucking mine is.
This is the whole thing with Instagram pseudonyms. I called you.
That's what I'm looking for.
When I would meet you at car shows, I was calling you Bill forever, and like it was BillCo forever.
Yeah.
And then I found out that you went by Will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew your name wasn't BillCo, but yeah. So Stradman, and you met. He said, meet my other client, Stradman. And at what point was Stradman at, and what kind of interaction did you have?
He probably had maybe 200,000 on Instagram. He had maybe half a milli, 700,000 probably on YouTube.
Not quite a milli yet.
And he hadn't had the Aventador yet, and he didn't have the McLaren that he gave away yet. And we shot his Gallardo out back of the shop, myself and my friend AJ Lee Photo, who taught me photography, by the way, while I was in the Air Force. I didn't do any photography before Utah.
Wow.
And we shot his car. Strad loved it, and he kind of had us as his exclusive shooters in Utah, and kind of still are. Like, other people have shot, like, I think Zumi did a shoot with him recently, but, like, for the most part, we're the only ones that get access to his cars first with closed locations, because this past week we had his entire collection. I got to drive the Elephant Gladiator.
How was it?
Oh, dude, that thing slaps. That was loud.
That
thing goes
slaps.
hard. Oh my god. We drove that.
Dude, the Elephant Gladiator is 1,000 horsepower.
I don't even know, dude. But that thing was keeping up with his Supra, no problem. And I was
his Supra's, that's a dumb question. Is it super tuned?
I don't know if
like, is it pushing extra
horsepower,
horsepower, or does it just have a wide body?
He has at least an exhaust kit on it, because it sounded really loud.
But either way, I mean, we're talking about like a pickup truck and basically an M2.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. But dude, that's great. You should bring him by the shop sometime. We'll do
a
4. We need a longer table. We'll get him in here.
Yeah, I heard he's making that Elephant into a 6x6.
He is. He was supposed to have it done by the time we got there, but he got distracted and bought a Ferrari Challenge car.
So, I did hear about that.
That
Maybe
does
you
happen.
Go check
you
out.
Distracted, you buy.
Go check out Strad's YouTube.
Car.
Check out Strad's YouTube. He did just recently purchase a Ferrari Challenge car, and I'm excited to see what he does to that. It's probably going to be purple with white rims.
Dude, I love purple cars, and I've always loved purple cars.
Why?
Because I just think purple's groovy as hell.
He takes a lot of flack for it.
I love it.
It looks really good. It's like a matte purple.
Certain cars, like a Ferrari in purple, looks like butt.
I mean,
McLarens in purple look good.
Good, yes. Yeah.
I think purple pista with the yellow stripe.
That does look good, but what I'm saying is, like, I like purple because you don't see purple on the road.
No.
And green is now overplayed as hell. Whoever would get their car changed in the color green, I'd want to shoot myself right now. All right.
You have spaceman, you have photographer of cars, you have models, and what else? We're missing stuff. I mean,
so
vlogging now.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel now.
Oh, with more subscribers than us.
All right. So speaking of purple cars, there's a little challenge going on right now. I don't know when this episode is actually going to come out, but
whenever I feel like it, that's when.
But so you have like a competition, and it's not like we're in competition with you at all, and
no,
we don't have the type of viewership yet, but
you will.
But tell us a little bit about this little competition or this little wager you have going on. What's going on with that?
So if I hit 10,000 subscribers by December, I will wrap my car purple to match the Aventador that I just shot this week.
A matte purple? Like the
same
matte purple?
Same exact purple. Same shop is going to do it, too.
And
that's sick.
Yeah. And
I'd do it without the 10.
So here's what's going to happen.
10,000 subs.
We're probably not going to hit 10K. We did very well.
Don't say that. You'll do it.
Okay, we hit 1,000 pretty quick, and I'm launching a big promo next week, so we'll see. But even if we don't hit 10K, I'm wrapping that car in January, hands down.
Okay.
But what the design is going to be a mystery. If we don't do the purple one, I've got another one in mind, and it's going to...
And not that your hat is any hint as to what car that might be. What car do you drive, Will?
I drive a 2014 Roush RS.
A Roush RS.
Anything special about it?
Everybody thinks it's a
other
V8.
than the name Roush.
Everybody thinks it's a V8. It's not. I drive an automatic V6. Yeah.
He drives a automatic.
Yeah,
V6,
no, that hurt a little bit.
No, I'm just like smiling.
But it's all roushed out. I mean, the thing looks like it's a great looking car, and it looks like a V8 and sounds like a V8 because it's got the Roush aesthetic treatment.
Yes.
But it's a funny story when you bought that car, or like what happened before you bought that car, and then you had some money from the car prior, and then you went to buy this car. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I was driving Stradman to a space.
This guy's got great stories.
Okay,
I mean, we don't have enough time for all of them, but like I could just pull these stories out of him.
I was driving James Stradman to a SpaceX launch, and it was the only launch I've ever seen that got canceled with 1 second to launch. They were like 3, 2, hold. And we were like, what? And James was like, he was vlogging, he goes, what happened? He's like he literally is holding the launch radio. He goes, what happened? I was like, dude, I think they just canceled the launch. And they did. It never happened. So we were
canceled?
Just
not
canceled.
Even delayed?
No,
nope.
Never saw it. We literally drove like 4 hours north for this thing, and it got canceled. And I was like, okay. So we're leaving the base. I hit a pothole on this dirt road in the back country of this space base. Makes a weird noise on the wheel. We get out and check it out. Seems okay, but it's making a weird noise the whole way back. We drive over 100 miles. I drop off James in like Beverly Hills. I get off on a back road because my car, I've been driving for 6 years, this Mustang, and it just felt a little off. So I get on the back road, not 2 miles on the back road, the entire wheel comes off the car. Does $12,000.
Like you're turning, the wheel just goes flying, and you're like
driving down Ventura Boulevard, and then I just hear this boom, and I was like, whoa, and then my wheel goes past the car, like a cartoon, dude. And I'm dragging the axle, and like sparks are flying, and I was like, oh my god, and like drift the thing back over. And I was like, yeah, this thing's totaled. And that was it. That was my black car named Harambe, and that was all she wrote. So I had one
Harambe
month.
didn't go down.
No.
That's insane.
I drove it till the wheels fell off,
Wow.
literally. Yeah.
I think, well, first of all, that's an amazing story. I
Driving
think
the wheels fall off.
literally,
wheels falling off.
I think that's a great place to end this first part one of this episode. Like we got so much more.
We hit the time.
We've
mark.
already hit the time, but
we're gonna have to talk more about your car.
We'll dive way more
to
into
talk about
for part 2
what you do.
Okay.
But guys, thank you for watching.
We gotta leave them on a cliffhanger. My second Mustang, Roush, almost killed me last week. Literally almost killed me. And
It did. It did.
I was this close. It was very, very real.
Yep.
And
I was following you on your shores and everything.
It would have been fatal. So
that was
find
intense.
out
So
why.
I was there.
Stay tuned.
I was there before I died. I've been diagnosed, and then all right, stay tuned and find out how Will almost died.
Yeah, guys, my name is Lorenzo Iacomini, aka the Speedy Guidi.
I'm Cody Lewis, aka the LA Car Spotter,
And I'm Will Collete, BillCo.
Guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Cool beans.
All right, now we just do episode 2.